Sponsored by
Hello and welcome. You're watching Editor's Lens with me, Ina Sivaj. After the terrorist attack on the Gwadar Port, the Balochistan Liberation Army, known as the BLA, launched an attack on Pakistan's second largest naval base. This naval base is located in Balochistan, where the main reason for the attack is believed to be China's investment and the Pakistani government's close alignment with China. Over the past 7 days, the BLA has attacked the Pakistani establishment in Balochistan for the second time. Before this, the BLA targeted an area very close to Gwadar Port last week and carried out a massive attack. You must have heard of the Gwadar Port before. This port is located in Pakistan's Balochistan province. The irony of the story is that while Pakistan claims to export pure Khalis goods of terrorism worldwide and considers itself clean, terrorist attacks are taking place in Pakistan itself and a large number of lives are being lost. Just like the naval base attack, responsibility for the attack near the Gwadar Port was also claimed by the Balochistan Liberation Army, or the BLA, by one of its factions, the Majid Brigade, and they claim to have killed 25 security personnel in Gwadar. Before these two attacks, if we look back in history, in July 2000, the BLA claimed responsibility for a bomb blast in Quetta. In May 2003, the BLA carried out several attacks one after the other. In 2004, the BLA targeted Chinese foreign workers involved in mega development projects of the Pakistani government. In November 2018, the BLA attempted to attack the Chinese consulate in Karachi, resulting in the deaths of 7 people. Over the past 35 years, there have been numerous examples of such attacks, many of which resulted in casualties, with responsibility often claimed by Balochistan Liberation Army. Responsibility is a big word. Whenever responsibility is claimed for such attacks, there is some motive behind it. The question is, what does the Balochistan Liberation Army want to prove by taking the lives of people in Pakistan? Is their goal just to spread terrorism, or is their attack a reaction to some actions in the past? Why does a group of people want to free Balochistan today? What happened in the past with Balochistan that it has become a problematic state, a festering sore for Pakistan? All these questions will be answered in today's video. But first, let's understand why the Balochistan Liberation Army targets the Gwadar Port and the Chinese people associated with it. To understand this better, you need to know about the geography of Balochistan. See, Pakistan considers Punjab, Sindh, Balochistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa as its states. What do we believe? Misunderstandings can happen to anyone, and unfortunately, there is no cure for misunderstanding in even the biggest medical science. Madness can still be treated, but not misunderstanding. Let's move forward. Balochistan is the largest Pakistani province in terms of area, but its population is very low compared to other parts of the country. Balochistan shares borders with Iran and Afghanistan. Additionally, the entire region of Balochistan is formed by combining Pakistan's Balochistan province, Iran's Sistan and Balochistan province, and some areas from Afghanistan, including Nimruz and Helmand. The special thing is that the Balochistan province, which falls within Pakistan's territory, is abundant in natural resources. Here there are large reserves of gas, coal and copper, yet despite these resources, it is the poorest province of Pakistan. Now in this very poor province, the Gwadar Port is being built. The Gwadar Port is a strategically important seapost of Pakistan. Look at its location carefully. This port is situated in the Arabian Sea, approximately 120 kilometers from the Iranian border and about 380 kilometers from Oman. Additionally, it is near the main oil shipping lane of Persian Gulf. Besides its important position in the Arabian Sea, the surrounding area is home to approximately 2/3 of the world's oil reserves. Another special feature of this port is that it is the closest seaport for landlocked and hydrocarbon-rich Central Asian republics as well as Afghanistan. In total, its geographical location and abundance of natural resources make it strategically very important. But there is one factor: it is very close to India as well. Despite its significance in the context of India, its special location has made it a focus of China's attention. And China and Pakistan together have included this port in the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor project. Additionally, it has been considered a link between the Belt and Road Initiative and the Maritime Silk Road projects. In the language of geopolitics, the Gwadar Port is an important pearl in China's string of pearl strategy. On one hand, China's eyes are fixed on this pearl, while on the other hand, the Balochistan Liberation Army, or the BLA, opposing the projects initiated by China in Pakistan, remains strongly against it. For this reason, the Gwadar Port has always been a target for the BLA. Now, a question may arise in your mind. Why are the Baloch people so angry with the presence of China in the Gwadar Port? So angry that they resort to taking someone's life. What could be the reasons behind such anger? There must be some reasons behind it. And the reasons are not one, but many. Behind this lies a whole series of social, political, and economic reasons. First, understand that the language, culture, and history of the people of Balochistan are completely different from the other provinces of Pakistan, and they do not share much in common with Punjabis or Sindhis. If it were just a matter of being different, it would have been manageable. However, the Baloch people have always felt socially neglected in Pakistan. Even when the Gwadar Port was being built in Balochistan, the Baloch were still neglected. No jobs were given to the Baloch, despite the fact that the Baloch population is highly educated and there is a lot of unemployment due to the benevolence of the Pakistani government. Despite this, Punjabi and Sindhi engineers and technical experts were employed for this project, not the Baloch. It means mega projects are being carried out on Baloch land and the Baloch people are being deprived of benefits. Obviously, there will be discontent. This happened because the Pakistan bureaucracy is biased towards Punjabi and Sindhi landlords or wealthy people, and the Baloch are the least represented people in Pakistan. Because of all those reasons, the Baloch people have been neglected economically, socially, and politically. Now imagine if Pakistan were to not neglect the Baloch people, but also to win their love and affection. How could that be possible? Think about it yourself. In this long period of neglect, where do the Baloch people ultimately turn to seek justice? Which court's door do they knock for? Pakistan itself is a failed state and dances to the tune of the military. Therefore, apart from taking up arms, the Baloch people have no other recourse. The more the spring is suppressed, the more vigorously it springs back in opposition. You already know this. And Pakistan has already seen such a fate in East Pakistan, now Bangladesh. The same has happened in Balochistan. The Pakistani government has thoroughly suppressed and neglected the Baloch people. Hence, organizations like the Baloch Liberation Army or the BLA have opened a front against the Pakistani government. Particularly, the Baloch people have vehemently opposed Pakistan's alliance with China. That's why you have seen in recent years Baloch insurgents targeting Chinese officials involved in the port projects. Therefore, Baloch insurgent groups like the BLA want to rid Balochistan of foreign influence, especially from the China and Pakistani government. Now consider that the Baloch Liberation Army believes that the first right to the resources of Balochistan belongs to its people. Here, the Pakistani government this year included the Balochistan Liberation Army in the list of extremist organizations. The recent struggle of the BLA was largely inspired by the sentiment of economic marginalization. But the question is the entire issue of Balochistan solely related to the economic aspect? By now, you may be slowly understanding the Baloch issue. But without knowing the history of Balochistan, you cannot fully understand the story. Let's go straight back to the time of the partition of India and Pakistan so that things become clearer. Indeed, at the time of independence and the princely states of Makran, Laspela, Kharan and Kalat were included in this province. Of these, the state of Kalat was the most powerful. The rulers of the other states had a feudal allegiance to the Kalat state. As the time for the British to return from undivided India approached, the last Khan of Kalat, Ahmad Yar Khan, openly began advocating for an independent Baloch state. Ahmad Yar Khan was a friend of Muhammad Ali Jinnah, so he hoped that instead of joining Pakistan, he would get the opportunity to establish his own independent state. The people of Balochistan also wanted to see themselves as an independent country. But with the British still in power, no country dared to live peacefully. That is, as long as the British were there, there was no spread of sovereignty. How is this possible? In this case too, British officials were strongly opposed to the establishment of an independent Baloch state. Why? Because according to the British, there was a threat of the expansion of the Soviet Union in this region. Therefore, the British wanted Kalat to merge with Pakistan. Not only that, but even more complex in this situation was the fact that 3 vassal states of Kalat were also ready to join Pakistan. There were no Sardar Vallabhbhai Patels in Pakistan who could handle the matter with excellence. So what was to happen then? By October 1947, Pakistan changed its tone and began to pressure the merger of Kalat. Finally, on March 17, 1948, the Pakistani government accepted the merger of the three vassal states of Kalat. With the merger of these three vassal states, Kalat was surrounded by land from all sides and it was left with less than half of its land. Here, All India Radio spread the information that Ahmad Yar Khan actually wanted to join India. Because of this information, on March 26, 1948, the Pakistani army marched towards Balochistan. After all these events, the chief of Kalat reluctantly signed the merger agreement. But the matter did not settle peacefully. The ink on the merger agreement was not even dry when opposition to the forced merger began. Ahmad Yar Khan's brother Prince Abdul Karim rebelled against the merger agreement and thus began the war for Balochistan's independence. It should be noted that the war for Balochistan's independence was fought from 1948, 58 to 59, 62 to 63, and from 73 to 77. And it continues this day. You see, Pakistan, which sheds crocodile tears for human rights in Kashmir, does not even hesitate to spill the blood of its own people. Pakistan, which sheds crocodile tears for the people of Kashmir, has dealt with Baloch insurgents with extreme inhumanity and cruelty since 1948. A history written in blood. Expecting humanity from there is foolishness in itself. Furthermore, Pakistani military forces have been accused of abduction, torture, arbitrary arrest, and even executions. It's not like the world is unaware of this. The 2016 Amnesty International report discussed the killing and dumping tactics of Pakistani military forces targeting Baloch activists, teachers, journalists, and lawyers. They harass them like animals to extract information and then shoot them dead, dumping their bodies. Even after this inhuman persecution, the world can hope for peaceful protest from the Baloch people. In 2016, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also discussed Pakistan's atrocities and the suppression of the Baloch people in his Independence Day speech, which caused a stir throughout Pakistan. Although the Indian government denies any covert involvement in Balochistan in recent years due to Pakistan's highly irresponsible, oppressive and authoritarian behavior, Baloch Liberation Front and Baloch nationalist organizations like BLA have come closer to Islamist organizations such as Taliban, TTP and Islamic State, posing a threat to Pakistan's stability. It means the thief's house has become a den of thieves. There is an NGO called the Pakistan Institute for Peace Studies. According to its Pakistan Security Report of 2022, insurgents and their Islamist allies carried out a total of 71 attacks inside and outside Balochistan alone in 2022, primarily targeting security and military personnel. Despite these crimes, it's astonishing to see Pakistan's confidence to blaming foreign elements, including India and Iran, for destabilizing the country. Well, in our scriptures, this is called the highest level of shamelessness. Don't think of twisting scriptures because such statements are made in satire. All in all, the forced invasion of Balochistan, deep wounds inflicted on the Baloch people by Pakistan in the past, and neglect of Baloch people amidst Pakistan's current economic, social and political situation have combined to create such a force among the Baloch people that the day may not be far when Balochistan announces separation from Pakistan and demands justice for the Baloch people. By now, you must have understood why Pakistan has become a problem for Balochistan, or why it can be safely said that Balochistan is becoming a headache for Pakistan.